During today's peace deal event, President Trump released a new map as a part of the proposal. And take a look. It would recognize Israeli settlements that already exist in the West Bank, put a 4-year freeze on new settlements if Palestinians agree to the deal. It also calls for a 20-mile tunnel to connect the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. But is there any chance of getting the Palestinians on board? Joining me now, human rights attorney and the Lawfare Project executive director who attended today's unveiling at the White House, Brooke Goldstein, back in New York City. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So what did you hear from the president that you have not heard from past administrations?
So actually, you hit the nail on the head in the sense that it's been touted as the deal of the century, but what really is new?
Yes.
I think what is new is that there are so many more details to this peace plan than we've seen in prior administrations where it was a lot of lip service. But it really is based on the same, frankly, passé premise that we know is going to fail, which is a so-called two-state solution. And I think it's pretty obvious that creating another Islamist state in a sea of failed dictatorships when no conditions of statehood are met, when terror is not taken care of, when there's still incitement, it's not a solution to the peace process. So what I think was totally historic, though, and totally new was finally the U.S. recognition that Israel has sovereign legal right over at least parts of Judea and Samaria. And of course, it's upon this basis, a recognition that Israel does have a right to the land, that Israel can then negotiate it away. And it is willing to negotiate the land away for peace, but there is no partner for peace. And you have to make a deal with somebody, or you're making a deal with yourself.
All right, so the president knows that. He knows, they can always start with Israel because Israel is one of our greatest allies. And obviously not only in the Middle East, but on the planet of Earth. So that's one place to start. Now, when he came into office in 2017, he was embraced by Palestinians and they considered him to be a man of peace, and then, moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem and said the United States recognizes Jerusalem as the rightful capital of Israel, and that put off the Palestinians. What can he do to bring the Palestinians to the table?
Well, first of all, he should still be the best friends of the Palestinian Arabs. He is proposing $50 billion worth of economic support. He is proposing a capital in East Jerusalem of a future state of Palestine with also an American embassy.
Is that new, that the borders and the boundaries, have past administrations been as specific?
They have not. And I think Trump actually, a couple hours ago, actually tweeted what he would want the map of a future state of Palestine to look like. And it's very telling because critics of the deal are saying, well, this is so pro-Israel. It's only pro-Israel if the Palestinians reject the deal. It's extraordinarily pro-Palestinian if they accept the $50 billion, if they accept the creation of a Palestinian state. And what is Israel getting? Practically nothing. They're getting maybe one thing, a continuous border along the Jordan Valley for security. They're giving up their land. They're giving up the notion that there will be a state of Israel that isn't carved up on the inside. So it's a very good deal for the Palestinians. And
now,
a lot of Israelis are angry about it.
In the past, a lot of conservatives around Benjamin Netanyahu have said, we don't like the two-state solution. But Netanyahu at least paid lip service to it today. Does he still believe there can be a two-state solution?
Well, I don't know what is in his head, but I think that anyone who is a student of history knows that creating, again, a Palestinian Islamic state is not a solution to anything. It is not going to create peace in the Middle East when incitement to violence exists in the textbooks of children, of millions of Muslim children.
And that's part of the 4-year probation period, is you have to tamp down these jihadist organizations who
dismantle Hamas, behave like a state.
And I know Iran hates it. Even Jordan came out against it. And I say, Jordan, calm down. We've been very good to you.
But Saudi Arabia didn't.
Well, right? Of course not, because they hate Iran. And
what is the Palestinians, what do they have to do to get a state? Behave like a state. Okay, reject the fact that you want, or the so-called return, the right of return. If you're going to return your entire population to Israel proper, who that is going to be a population in Palestine? Accept borders. You need borders to be a state and have a real governing authority.
We'll see where this goes, and if the president and the administration and Jared Kushner can bring the Palestinians and the Israelis to the peace table. hopefully for something more comprehensive that even Nancy Pelosi is optimistic about. Brooke Goldstein, thank you so much.
Thank you.